Hi and welcome. Today's drawing is a skill drill. We're going to take something as ordinary as some bendy flexible tube and make something out of it. And my creation today is a wormhole generator. I wonder what you'll draw using your new skill with bendy tubes. To get started, you'll need a splat and two pencils. Hold your pencils either side of the ellipse and stretch your pencils apart. And carefully go all the way around and you'll have drawn a circle. Place your pencil in the center and hold it firmly. Slide the splat down all the way and then trace around all three of those ellipses, and you'll find they're in the perfect position to show holes in a sphere. Boom! Guys, here I'm drawing a light line and I'm thinking about the path or where I want the tube to go. It can be any shape you like. I think I'll draw mine into the other hole. And I'm going to connect a tube coming out from that one and maybe curve it around underneath. There could be another hole underneath that it connects to. That squiggly line is my signal to you that I'm going to erase those lines. They'll be covered up by the tube. So let's get rid of them now. And the path I've probably drawn a little darker than I normally would. So let's lighten that up a little bit. Here's the key. Imagine a line top and bottom of the ellipse, just like that. Now I'm going to place it at the start of my path and I'm tracing half an ellipse. Now I slide it along the path, which is that light line we drew. So slide and trace, slide, trace, slide, trace, slide, trace. I'm sure you're getting the idea. But look, the key is just keep those two black marks sliding along the path line and have fun. Let's watch as I work my way down. Let me speed this up a little for you. Stop drawing curves when you get to the last corner. So that's the last corner before I join onto the sphere. I'm going to go over to the sphere and start drawing half circles again, but notice how they're going out to the left this time, the other way. So work your way towards the corner again and then stop. Okay, so pick a point halfway in between those two curves. And on that point, draw a line. Now draw lines that curve a little more and a little more until they meet that last one. Good. Don't worry if the spacing changes or isn't exactly even. Remember, that's the shape we're aiming for. So we draw a little curve and then we go a bit fuller and a bit fuller. Great. The outside of the tube gets a wiggly line. That's what makes it flexible or bendy. In real life, it's shaped like this, but it takes way too long and it doesn't need to be like that to trick your eye into showing what material this is. So a wiggly line like that drawn quickly is fine. With the next bendy tube, it's even easier. We'll start with the ellipse and we'll start tracing half an ellipse and we're sliding those two marks along the path. And we come to a really sharp corner. You'll notice that when I'm halfway through the sharp corner, on the inside, I'm almost not moving it at all. It seems like I'm just swinging the outside around. That's okay. Just keep following the line. And because I'm not joining it to another ellipse, I can just keep going at that same angle. I don't need to stop at the last corner. Just keep going until it disappears behind something and stop. How easy is that? I'm going to have to erase that path line, and actually it doesn't look bad with, looks like a bit of a highlight where the light's shining on the tube. One of these tubes is going to loop around and go through the wormhole generator and out the other side. There's the path. At the end of the path, I'm drawing an ellipse, and I'm going to trace around that ellipse, and I'm going to make it slowly get bigger. So each time I draw a new one, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's also changing into more like a circle. As the tube points towards you, changes direction, looks more like a circle. This is where the wormhole vortex starts and sucks in anyone who's standing too close. To learn how to draw these human figures, just Google human figure outline and you'll see heaps of examples to copy. I wonder if these two figures will end up in a parallel universe. And here's how to make a tube look like it's disappearing. Start off by drawing half ellipses, but they get smaller and smaller as they go away from you. We all know that things in the distance always look smaller. Pop. To add a little bit of drama, try some long, thin pointy lines that point in towards your drawing. This is a yellow pastel. It's like a really soft chalk. Make sure you get a soft pastel because some are hard. They should rub really easily. Try and match it with a pencil of the same colour. Alright, so what I'm doing, think about the light shining on this drawing from the direction of the stars. I'm imagining where the shadow side of the tube might be, and that's what I'm making the darkest. So run your pastel around only about a third of the way across, just a little bit across. So think about where the shadow would be, and it disappears there, and the shadow would be underneath in that section. So the lines don't necessarily run all the way along. They stop and start a little bit. Just fudge it if you're not sure. Have a look where the circle gets bigger, then the shadow would get wider as well. Now it's time to try a little bit of smudging. A little cotton ball is best for this, but if you're stuck, try your finger. So rub it to make the pastel stick at that section, and then start working towards the lighter side. And then run your finger like along the tube, slowly working towards the other side, and it'll fade out. Pastels are great for doing a fade, because the yellow should actually go all the way across the tube, but on the far side of the tube it should be much lighter. So it's called contrast when there's a difference between the dark and the light. And that helps trick your eye into making it look like it's rounded. So the white section running around is called a highlight. That's where the light is shining off it. Press firmly on your pencil for a dark yellow line right around the outside, or you could use a yellow texture. Here I'm using an eraser to try and clean up the pastel where I've gone a little too far. And I'm having a look at trying to add a bit of colour to the middle. I've tried purple pastel in the middle, but it's looking a bit messy. I probably would use pencil next time, I think. It does do a great job at making a nice fade, and I can clean that up a little further by using a purple pencil to sharpen up that outline. That's not too bad. That's shadow under there, away from the stars. Experiment with adding your own colours and shapes and patterns to make yours look really dramatic. These dark lines are only for the close objects. Remember, don't draw these dark lines along all of the tubing if you can help it. And that's how you draw bendy tubes. I'd like you guys to come up with your own designs, and I would love someone to send me in a picture of a knot tied in a bendy tube, if that's even possible. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.